Welcome to Conversations Live. For more than a decade, we've brought you the best in books, entertainment, celebrity interviews, and current events. When the movers and shakers of the world have something to say to you, they say it to us first. Now celebrating 17 years of broadcasting success, here's your host, Cyrus Webb.
And welcome back, everyone, to Conversations Live. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us once again, both for our radio audience here in Mississippi at WYAD 94.1 FM and WYADonline.com. We're glad that you all could be with us. Also, just tuning in around the world, thanks to iHeartRadio and Amazon Music Podcasts. Glad you all could be with us as well. This segment falls into your For-Your Health segment. As you guys know, all this month we've been talking to you guys about particular blood cancers you can be aware of, resources that are available. March is recognized as Myeloma Awareness Month, and myeloma is the second most common blood cancer in the U.S. and the most prevalent among African Americans. So because of that, we're excited to say that the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society is connecting people with resources to help them not only with their health, but also to give them more education about what they need to know about this blood cancer. Here to talk to us more about that, we're excited to welcome Laura Ortiz-Ravick, as well as a myeloma survivor, Kelvin Yates. We'll talk to them not only about what LLS is doing, but also where you guys can go for more information. Thanks to the two of you for the time. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, Cyrus. Good morning.
Yeah, Kelvin, I'm going to start with you because one of the questions we've been getting this month, and I have not actually, and this is on me, have not thought to ask people about this, but when it comes to you and your own journey with myeloma, when did you first realize that there was something going on? What was it that made you go to the doctor or even realize that there was an issue?
It started out as back pain. I had this excruciating, it started out kind of mild back pain kind of at the beginning of January, and then as the month progressed along, it just really all of a sudden just started getting worse and worse, and by, mid-January going toward the end of January, it just really got debilitating to where I couldn't even walk. Now, in between that, I had a few stints at the emergency room, and then, one stint at my primary care physician, but due to my age, they would not be able to, treat it. They treated it as a back pain, not as a, disease or a cancer, so to speak.
Right. So Laura, let's talk about myeloma then, because I think it's been interesting for me in hosting this show over the years and hearing the different situations that people ended up going to the hospital and being diagnosed. How prevalent is this particular blood cancer when it comes to African Americans compared to others?
Thank you, Sarah. That's actually a great question. It is, like you said at the beginning, one of the blood cancers with the greatest racial disparity. And unfortunately, not only Black Americans have twice the incidence of myeloma as white Americans, but also what's even more frustrating is that Blacks often face significant delays in timely diagnosis and access to optimal treatment, including clinical trials. And, the typical age for a myeloma diagnosis is around mid-60s. And in Black Americans, what happens is they tend to be diagnosed at a much younger age, like in the case of Kelvin. And as you know, the delays in diagnosis and lack of access to timely treatment can significantly impact survival rates. So the work that we do, not only around myeloma, but also about just generally around blood cancer, is to raise awareness in the community of the signs and symptoms and what to do if either yourself or a loved one is experiencing any of the symptoms.
Laura, I want to stay with you for a second. So I mentioned, of course, that LLS has been very instrumental in raising awareness. I should mention you also are the Senior Manager of Outreach and Health Promotion at LLS. Talk to us about what LLS is doing to support patients like Kelvin and helping them not only with the education but also moving forward.
Absolutely. We support all blood cancer patients through an extensive selection of education, support resources, programs, including a number of financial assistance resources that can help with costs associated with treatment, medication, and non-medical expenses. And, we truly believe that every patient deserves to receive the best care and support possible. And we're dedicated to helping Black Americans with myeloma access the treatment and care they need to survive, to thrive, and to truly improve their quality of life. And throughout our array of resources, especially our information resource center, we navigate the patient and the caregiver throughout the journey of that cancer diagnosis, and we provide trusted information, resources to help the family navigate the treatment landscape more effectively and cope with the disease from the day of diagnosis.
Kelvin, you're not only a survivor of myeloma, but you also are a volunteer with the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. Talk to us about, if you don't mind, the Myeloma Link program and how you've been involved with it.
Yes, I've been involved with it a number of ways. One, I've actually being a survivor myself, I've used Myeloma Link just as far as getting connected with different information and, doctors and things like that. Now, on the voluntary end, I go out to the community, whether it be, nursing homes, community centers, speaking with nurses, doctors, just trying to educate them on what to look for. Because, like in my case, I was diagnosed so young, they didn't know what to look for. So really it's just about getting the education out there to a lot of the communities, centers, doctors, nurses, things like that, so they know what to look for and not to ignore some of the signs and symptoms that would ultimately be a diagnosis with myeloma. So that's one of the major parts I play as a volunteer for Myeloma Link.
Yeah. Well, Kelvin, I appreciate you sharing a part of your story here, and I think it's so important for us to have conversations like this, and I look forward to continuing to do it. Again, everyone, Laura Ortiz-Ravick and Kelvin Yates have been joining us today, talking with us about the work that the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society are doing these days. Laura, how can our audience find out more information about the LLS and also, of course, learn more about the Link program?
Absolutely. People can call the 1-800 number, which is 1-800-955-4572. Again, 1-800-955-4572, or visit our website at www.lls.org. Thank you, Cyrus.
Okay, LLS.org, and we'll make sure to link that up. Thanks to the two of you again for the time, and looking forward to having you back on the program again.
Thank you.
All right, thank you for having us.
Okay, glad to do it, and we thank your audience for tuning in to another great segment of Conversations Live. Until next time, I'm your host, Cyrus Webb, saying as always, enjoy your day, enjoy your life, enjoy your world. Thank you all for choosing Conversations Live. Now let's go make today amazing. Take care.